All right, we've got a news alert now out of Washington, D.C. Let's get to Eamon Javers with the latest. Eamon.
Yeah, Melissa, that's right. Senator Elizabeth Warren is now calling for an SEC and CFTC investigation into the Trump administration for what she calls insider trading. Now, this is following up on that New York Times story this morning, which suggested that Trump insiders may have been saying different things to conservative and politically connected and financially connected groups behind closed doors about the coronavirus than they were saying in public at about the same time. Now, what Elizabeth Warren is saying here in her statement is that if this report is accurate, it represents an appalling abdication of duty by President Trump and top officials in his administration. It also indicates that numerous investors may have used this early and inside information about the looming tragic economic and public health consequences of the pandemic to extract enormous profits for themselves and for their investment companies. So now, Melissa, it's not at all clear that the CFTC and SEC will investigate this. Insider trading law is very complicated when it comes to Washington and what's considered insider information here and what's not. But Elizabeth Warren here making the point that she views this as unhealthy behavior, to say the least. The other question that we're going to have to look into with all of this is what exactly did these Trump administration officials say privately to investors, donors, conservative allies, and the rest that they weren't saying publicly at the same time? Was there a real material difference between what they were saying privately and what they're saying publicly at the time? All that is going to require more investigation, and Elizabeth Warren wants the CFTC and the SEC to do that investigation, guys.
Eamon, thank you. Eamon Javers in Washington. Brian Kelly, got a comment.
Yeah, so it's interesting. This really goes to the heart of what is insider trading here. Was this some sort of material information that you couldn't have got out where? And I would think, I remember back then, back in February, you saw this virus spreading across the globe. So I think any astute investor would have stood up and say, hey, wait a second, there may be an issue here. Politicians lie to me all the time. I may not want to listen to that. So I'm not sure this goes to insider trading. All right. Sounds to me more like political theater.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.